Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's meeting of the Rotary eClub of Silicon Valley. Today is March 15th, Sunday, and we're actually recording the presentation for the week starting tomorrow. And this is a very timely presentation. That's why we're a little last minute like this. And the presentation is going to focus on how our club can help, can provide some special service to Rotarians anywhere in the world in these special circumstances that we're finding ourselves in, where we're advised to avoid going to meetings or conferences or places of where many people gather together. Now, for this presentation, we'll hear from from none other than Rushton Hurley, who's the charter president of our Rotary Club, and he will be telling us about how our club operates, both for the benefit of our own members, but especially for guests and Rotarians around the world, and how the structure of our club could hopefully benefit Rotarians during this period. So Rushton, take it away.
All right, President Sviatko, thank you very much. It is a pleasure to have all of you guys with us on the recording today, as well as all of you who will be joining us over the course of the week, watching this as our program in this week's meeting. We hope that this will give you some very good ideas to work with, and you are certainly welcome to stay in touch with us as we leap into things. Now, a little bit about what it is we're trying to make happen with this. When we think about what we deal with regard to the coronavirus and COVID-19, it may well be that for many of you, this is the only chance you'll have to attend a Rotary meeting this week, and we're glad you're joining us. I hope that the ideas that we share today will give you a little light in an ocean of difficult news when it comes to the spread of COVID-19. Typically, our speakers have as their primary audience the membership of our club, the Rotary eClub of Silicon Valley. Today, though, will be a little different. Today, this message is for all Rotarians, and especially those whose clubs have had to cancel their meetings as a result of the spread of the coronavirus. We'll tell you a little bit about our club and how we hope to be helpful to you. So for our members, this is a chance to better understand the role we play as part of Rotary worldwide. So let's start with why anyone joins Rotary. While there may be various reasons, one that should be on every member's list is the chance to be of service to others. We give our time and energy to improving our communities and aiding those in need. That is, we join to serve. In the case of our members, there is another top-tier reason we are in this club. Many of us join because we have a heart for service, but we have work and/or travel schedules that make attending a face-to-face club a non-starter. Now, we love to visit what we call Terra clubs, but the flexibility of our online club is what allows us to comfortably get our weekly dose of Rotary inspiration. You see, our club is not only online, it is asynchronous. We post our meetings on Monday mornings, US Pacific time, and members can attend by going to the meeting page anytime between then and Sunday night. 4 a.m. on a Saturday morning in your pajamas? No problem. Our members take in the meetings much like Rotarians in Terra clubs. For those who came to the program through this week's meeting, we have a little review coming up for you. And for those who found us via a YouTube link, let us introduce you by taking a look at last week's meeting. So what I'm going to do is show you what our meetings look like. When you come to our homepage, there is a blue button in the upper right that says Attend Meeting. And on the day we are recording, Sunday the 15th, this is what you would find. It starts with the many pieces of our program and a message from one of our leadership, in this case, President nominee Brett, who is in Australia and gamely joining today's, even though it's only 5 a.m. there. Very cool, Brett. We have a message for our guests. We like to repeat the four-way test as we get started, and somebody in our club will have recorded that message. And this week, it just happens to be President Sviatko. Huge shout out to Yvonne, who gets us our jokes every week. So we have a little bit, to share as we go through. And Yvonne, you do a magnificent job on that front. Then we'll have a weekly inspiration. So some video that tells us something interesting about our special interests of innovation, education, and entrepreneurship. Our programs go beyond those topics, but a lot of them center in on those because we think that's of particular interest to those who who gravitate to our club. We have a member spotlight in this week. It's past president Andrew Ta, and his dog Remy makes a cameo in that picture that you see right there. And Andrew tells us about some gardening he's doing, which is pretty darn cool. The world of Rotary is important because as part of Rotary, you want to know what's happening worldwide. And we'll include a link to a blog piece, for example, that allows us to see something happening somewhere else in the world, which is quite nice. The Through a Rotarian's Lens section is from member Keith Marsh. Keith, you are a legend. He takes wonderful and interesting pictures and tells us about them as a part of what he does, and especially with regard to different places that he's had the chance to visit. Another shout out to Shags. Shags Shagrin is one of our members, a long-time Rotary guy, who is the person who curates the Learning Something New section. I'll occasionally toss in a thing about tech, but Shags is the main guy for finding good pieces on that front. You'll hear more as we go about Coffee with a Rotarian. This is a program we get so that our members can connect with another member over the course of each month and find out a little bit about what's going on in their part of the world. In this case, Andrew and Kelly. Kelly in Europe, Germany, I believe, is that right? And then, maybe something we're doing as a fundraiser, which was March Madness Challenge, which we've had to adjust on with the cancellation of March Madness. But you adjust as you go. There is a service report, so people get a chance to, in our club, to tell us what they've been doing for service in their communities. The idea, we report that out, is to inspire each other. Oh, see, that's a great thing to get involved with. I want to be part of that. Those are the kinds of things we do with the service reports. And this month, we're celebrating the birthday of the Peace Corps. 59 years ago this month, the Peace Corps launched under President John F. Kennedy. And one of our members, Cecilia Babkirk, is in rural Ethiopia as a teacher now, a volunteer on the Peace Corps. And we are proud, proud, proud of her. There will be some club announcements, some connections to the communication we've got going on Facebook, as well as some things about maybe socials that have happened. In this case, 3 of our members and several four-legged members of the club as well, which you can't help but like that. There are upcoming recordings and events across the district. We like people to know what's going on in the district. And then our Happy Dollar section. What's been going well for you? What do you want to tell about? What do you want to join in on? What do you want to just throw a couple of dollars to our service projects for? We welcome anyone tossing a nice message in, via our Happy Dollar section. This is a secure place to do donations as well. Then we'll have some selected comments from the previous week, and then the program. Now, the program is something that we're real proud of because we can connect with people all over the world to help us understand, what kinds of cool things are happening in different places. And this last week we had Lori Nelson of She Heroes, the executive director. That's a program that tells stories of women in STEM fields to inspire girls to see possibilities they might not have seen before. We'll have a little bit left after that. Everyone who attends should tell us that they were here. And if you are a guest, you click on that "No, I'm a guest." And then if you fill this out properly, you'll get an email that you can pass along to your club secretary so that you can make up a missed meeting, again, at 4 a.m. in your pajamas on Saturday, if that is how it works for you. And then finally, our discuss section, where you'll comment a little bit about the presentation, maybe respond to one of the other members. And this is another way that we have the chance to kind of find out what's going on with people all across our club. So that is basically how our group works. And I have to say, I especially like the Coffee with a Rotarian report. So just this last week, I connected with Emily Paver, one of our newest members. Emily, keep up the great work you're doing in Guatemala. And I love the conversation and look forward to talking again. With our club, even though it's online, you can get a sense of our members and community, just as you would in a vibrant Terra club. I'll note that our club is over 1/3 members in their 20s and 30s, which helps us work with lots of different perspectives on what our club can do. We even have gender parity this year, which we think is cool. And we should toss out a thanks to Rotary Central for being able to get some graphics to you on these fronts. Additionally, we're a global club. While the largest chunk of our members is in Silicon Valley, we have members on almost every continent. We take pride in the members who have come to us also via Rotaract. This picture is from last year's International Convention, and several of our members took part. I've circled Maxie, Raquel, and Mitty, though I think Manoj, Kelly, and Ken are in this one, but I'm probably looking right past them. One of the two people I worked most closely with when we started the club 5 years ago is Mitty Chang over on the right. He has long championed the connections between Rotaract and Rotary. And so this is a part of who we are as a club that we take a lot of pride in. Of course, as a Rotary Club, we engage in service, like any club. Laptops for Good has been our main project the last few years, thanks to the leadership of past President Andrew Topp. It provides laptops to low-income and service-minded high school seniors as they matriculate into college. Our goal for 2021 is to provide over 15 laptops. If you'd be interested in working on this project, members, whether it's reading applications, building partnerships, or raising funds, please reach out to us. We'll welcome anyone who has a heart for this kind of thing. So, here are some of the service projects in our first couple of years. Now, a lot of it would look similar to what you'd see in a list of any club's projects, but we want to zero in on the last item on the list. It's an important one. We provide a tremendously flexible way that Rotarians anywhere can make up a missed meeting, as I described before. It's a way our club serves Rotarians everywhere. It's our weekly effort to share stories of service. We've had programs from amazing speakers around the world. The young woman entrepreneur in Saudi Arabia who started a business consulting with companies to help them improve profits through environmentally friendly practices. The man in South Africa who developed a mesh network fire detection system to better protect families living in townships. The president of the San Jose Downtown Rotary Club who led her club's efforts to establish a landmark playground here in the South Bay that is accessible to kids with all sorts of physical challenges. And my favorite, the man who started the Memory Project, an effort that connects with orphanages around the world and gets pictures of the children, passes the pictures on to high school art programs in North America, where the student artists draw and paint portraits, which are then sent by the Memory Project back to the children. And here's one of the children seeing her first portrait of herself. These are the stories that get us in touch with what brought us to Rotary in the first place. Whether you are a member or a guest, it is our hope that these stories inspire you to share them with others and let them know that there are people in the world dedicated to making a difference in wonderful and creative ways. Being an eClub, I should note that we have a special interest in how technology can serve the business of service. And when I speak at Rotary meetings, I emphasize tech's potential for helping us to tell stories to our communities. It is easier to make a compelling video now than it has ever been before. And whatever service you are involved with, you double your contribution by helping others see the cool experiences in video stories that free tools like Adobe Spark, Screencastify, and Zoom allow you to create. This creates not just PR materials for your club, but a history of the club as a community. None of us lives forever, and the time you take now to record the stories of those who have been in your club the longest will be valued by the members of the club long after they pass. We use Zoom as a video conferencing tool to do our Coffee with a Rotarian program and to record our programs for our meetings. This is me and Beck Fry in Australia. She's actually working to launch a brand new eClub there. It won't be just like ours, which is the idea. As we help create new models, more people with a heart for service will find a home in Rotary. In your family or in your club, members who have had to spend time in the hospital might miss the fellowship, but using a tool like Zoom, you can bring them in. It's how technology can serve the business of service. So in a time of pandemic, what do we offer? Well, we certainly are not asking Rotarians to leave their clubs and join ours. But we do want you to know that we are fully up and operational and welcome you to join us in the weeks your club cannot meet. Discuss with your club colleagues the stories we share, and once this challenge passes, come back whenever you need to do a makeup. We're thankful to have tools that allow us to connect and celebrate what we do for others, to share stories of inspiration, to be here for clubs and communities where people can't come together in groups right now, and to provide a way for those with crazy busy schedules but a heart for service to find a home in Rotary. So what next? Below this video in our program, you'll find a set of links. You'll see a link to short videos that students have made about people and organizations that make life better for others. One element of the service we do is to help judge the finalists of the Service via Video contests each year, and you can see the winners on the page the link takes you to. If you and members of your club want to help us with the judging each year, follow the instructions in the second link. We'll be glad to get you involved. After that, you'll see links to the products of the companies I mentioned, and we'll add links to tutorial videos created by teachers to help you learn them. I'll also include links to our meetings with the programs that I told you about as I described them before. Watch and enjoy. So, visitors, over the coming weeks, feel free to visit. There's no meal, so you don't have to pay anything. You can always leave a donation through our secure system to our service efforts if you like, but it's not required. Finally, we ask our members and guests to share our club's website with others. For those who don't know about Rotary, we hope it gives them a chance to discover what a wonderful organization we're a part of. For Rotarians who can't go to their weekly meeting, we hope we can offer you a temporary home until this passes. My name is Rushton Hurley, and I approve this message.
Thanks so much, Rushton. Thanks for a wonderful presentation. I really appreciate all the visuals and the very good summary of how our club operates and the essential service that we provide to Rotarians anywhere at any time, but especially during this difficult time now with COVID-19. So before we go into the Q&A, I'd like to just quickly introduce the folks that we have on the line with us. So Rushton, if you don't mind just switching to gallery view if you haven't yet.
Fun.
And cool, so I will just go here fairly quickly. So we have, so as I mentioned your name, if you can just wave. So we have Nick in Canada. We have our member Maxi from California. We have Sandra as well, also from California. We have our member Suzanne from California as well. We have our member Carl, who is currently somewhere in California, and I'm sure he will tell us a bit more about where exactly and what he's doing. We have our member Brett from Australia. Special shout out because it's very, very early there right now. Thank you, Brett, for being on the line. And we have Raquel, who's in Mexico right now. And let me just introduce the few very important guests that we have on the line as well. We have our District Governor, Ramesh. Thank you, DG, for being with us. And who else have I? Oh, we have Hung joining us as well from our district administration as well, district leadership. And we have Tina with us also. So really quite a large group over here, especially for a presentation that's those kind of last minute. And thank you, Rushton, for doing such a good job on a short notice. And I look forward to the Q&A. So let me just open this up for the group and see what questions you all have for Rushton.
Before we leap into questions, by the way, let's also introduce our president, Sviatko Shidorov, who is in Harare, Zimbabwe, and thank you for hosting the meeting. So, who can start us with questions? Hung, were you raising your hand a minute ago, or are you just waiting? Yes.
Why does Ramesh
Yeah, go ahead, Hung.
why is there two Rameshes? Oh, it's just one. Okay.
All good there. And Hung, remind you're with the Cupertino Club, correct?
Yes, I'm Cupertino Club. I'm the district membership chair.
Excellent. Great to have you with us.
Thank you. So let's maybe just to show the diversity of the different locations and situations that everybody on the call is in right now. Carl, do you want to maybe quickly tell us where you are? If you can.
Okay, I'm here. I am currently at Travis Air Force Base, which is about 40 miles north of San Francisco. I was on the infamous Grand Princess cruise ship that quarantined all of us. So I'm here at Travis in quarantine for the coronavirus. I have been totally happy and healthy the entire time, but it's a good opportunity for me to be a member of an eClub because I can't do much else.
Well, Carl, we're really happy that you're happy, healthy, and joining us for sure. For sure. Do we have any questions to get things started?
Ramesh?
Oh.
Yeah. My question is, I think a full program that you have, a very well-run club, and this is the second time I'm visiting your club this year. One, to speak to your club as a district governor, and this time to come back to learn from you people what you people are doing. It's very relevant to the changing times that we're going through. My question is, how do you have your club administration? How do you manage this entire challenging program? Where in different parts of the world, you have a program chair, you have a community services chair, you have a youth chair. How are you organized as a club to deliver these services?
Great question. So to start with, our organization is actually not that different from traditional clubs, from Terra clubs, right? We have the same officers, generally speaking. You know, we spend a lot more time talking about our tech, I suppose, than most clubs. But when we meet as a board, we meet the same way we're meeting right now. So we use Zoom. We have a shared Google Doc that has the agenda on it. And then everybody's had a chance to look over before we get started and add, you know, their reports and things like that. And so our Zoom is our main tool. It really is. It's our programs, it's our board meetings, it's our online socials, it's our Coffee with the Rotarian piece. And you know, you think about something like using a video conference tool. When people are getting together, they get together, right? Whether it's around the table or around the screen in our case. And are there a lot of advantages to doing things in person? Of course there are. But we think it's pretty cool to be able to get together from different continents as well and tell about things that we're doing. As I see it in a lot of Rotary spaces, you know, there's this interesting thing about clubs, like, are you more focused on global things? Are you more focused on local things? And I think a lot of the healthiest clubs are clubs that have found ways to use whatever tools they have to get balance between those things, you know, to really celebrate what they can do locally, while they also understand that they're part of a 1.2+ million member organization in 34,000 clubs, right? Making the world a better place. So as we see it, how we explore using tools to do what we do gives us a better idea of how we can do the service that we can do.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hung, how about you?
Yes, so the main purpose I'm joining today is I like to kick this out to all the clubs, give them an option. So I have a couple questions. First is, how many people can Zoom together? For a bigger club, they might not be able to Zoom together. The second is, how much does it cost, and what's the techniques for them to learn how to do it?
Great question. So let's talk a little bit about the mechanics of using Zoom. A club could use a free Zoom account and get a lot done. As you see, what we're doing right now, we've actually got a big group. This is an unusually large group for one of our recordings. But a lot of what any club would share when they come together is more in the space of announcements than discussion. And consequently, recording what you do using something like Zoom or Screencastify or any of these is useful for getting that kind of information out and saving the time for discussions, you know, a little more carefully. In a free account, you have up to 40 minutes worth of connection when there are more than 2 connections, or when you are recording. If it's just 2 people connecting, then you can talk as long as you want. And with a pro account, you lose that 40-minute limit. And it's not expensive. I don't remember what it was. You know, $20 a month, maybe. It's something that's just entirely reasonable. If you have a very large club, so you can imagine San Jose downtown, for example, they might invest in getting what's called the webinar tool, which is a way to have many more people involved. So I do webinars for teachers around the world and school leaders around the world to help them, especially over like this last week. I put out some webinars related to how to prepare a staff at a school for switching to online instruction. And I thought, I'd probably get a few dozen people. I had over 400 people register for that. So I was really thankful to Zoom to have like the opportunity to do it in a 500-person webinar, right? So there's a couple of different ways Zoom works to do that, but the key thing for anybody interested in it is just to sign up for a free account at zoom.us. I think zoom.com will actually get you to the same place. There's a sign up, it's free. It only takes a few moments to sign up. And then like anything else, and this is true, by the way, for everybody, for all the tools we talk about, when you're trying to figure a tool out, go to the one place where everything is explained. That is YouTube, right? And so you put in like Zoom and tutorial or an introduction to Zoom, and you'll find videos where people are explaining this stuff. Now, to do it right, here's some pro tips for the group. To do that kind of thing right, go to YouTube, do the search, and then take a look at the hits, because you may get 20,000 explanations of how to start Zoom. So you don't want to spend like the entire week watching them, right? So what you do is you say, okay, from the first ones I list, first of all, when were they posted? If they were posted in the last 6 to 12 months, or 0 to 12 months, that's good. If it was like older than that, it may be out of date. So any tech that you're looking for a tutorial for, just understand that older videos are probably not the tutorials you want. If you're a real warrior in YouTube, you can go to the other tools and look for things that have only been posted in the last year, which is a big help. Now, in addition to that, look and see how many times it's been viewed. A tutorial that's been viewed 10,000 times is probably better than one that's been viewed 10 times, though that's not a given. And then here's the hush hush 007 James Bond tip on that front. If you find a tutorial you like, click on the name of the person who posted it, because if you click on that, you might find other tutorials by that same person, and you already know you like that person's style for explaining things. Yeah, and I guess the only other thing I would add on that front is that when I'm looking for a tutorial, I also choose shorter ones over longer ones, because if they can explain it in 4 minutes rather than 20, 2 thumbs up for me. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very
So
welcome.
what I would suggest them is, I have in mind is for clubs who are closed, like Cupertino Rotary, to do a Zoom cocktail party or have happy hour, right?
Yeah.
So people can join, have a cocktail and drink, and then have a topic to discuss. So just connect while they're at home.
That's exactly how we do our online socials, right? And so yeah, people are encouraged, like, hey, we'll talk about this, or this, that, the other, and then we do this kind of thing, and people just kind of share thoughts as we go, and it's informal, and life is good. Cool. Sandra, Sandy, by the way, you had your hand up. Go ahead. What you got?
I was just going to say, our Coffee with the Rotarian program, I feel is like, it's really amazing, because I feel better connected to people in my eClub than I did in, you called it the Terra Club, I call them traditional clubs, because you have these, this one-on-one time with people, and you learn all kinds of amazing things. And I feel like I know more in 1 year about people in my Rotary Club, the eClub, than I did in my previous club. And I was in it for 7 years. So it's just a really wonderful program. And I don't think I think we're supposed to talk for 20 or 30 minutes. I don't think I've ever talked that short. And I had a conversation with somebody who is in Africa, one of our other members, Olu, and we just kept chatting. And when we were done, he's like, I've never talked to anybody this long before. So it was really fun. So I think it's such a great program, and I really feel connected to my club. And I think that's one of the things that Rotary is all about, is, being connected to people. And it's nice when you can meet, in person with somebody's local, but it's, Zoom or, whatever you want to use is great. So yay.
It speaks to the importance for every Rotary Club of fostering connections, right? When I joined Rotary in April of 2004, I joined the San Antonio, Texas Downtown Club, the San Antonio Downtown Club. At the time, it was the largest club in the world, 750 members. And they did a superb job of getting people engaged and with small groups, right? They had a thing called Rotary U, and you could earn your bachelor's or master's or a doctorate in Rotary, right? And it was a part of how they did things to get people connected to Rotary's possibilities. And so whatever club you're in, be creative. Have the meetings where you're sitting back and thinking, what's something we can try? Not everything has to work perfectly, right? Just try it and see what happens, and talk to each other and say, how would we improve it? And I think that's a healthy way of thinking about helping clubs be the best they can be. Period. Who's next?
Just a quick note, Hung, just another suggestion on a tool. We also heavily use Google Docs, Google Sheets, those type of tools that are available with a free Google account to anybody. As Rushton was mentioning, as we do our board meetings, for example, our agenda is a Google Doc, and we update that in real time as we meet, just like this during our board meetings, and then that same document becomes the minutes from the board meeting. So as members of different Rotary clubs, and especially the leadership teams, as they try to collaborate on projects and documents over the next few weeks, it would also be helpful to use these sort of tools as well, collaboration tools, if they don't already. Yeah.
Very nice. In the chat, Carl added a question: how can we make Terra clubs aware of this presentation? One of the goals that we have as a club over the next couple of days is to get word out that this recording is out there, that they can find it via YouTube. We can send that link out. We'll also make sure that it is, it'll be the program for this coming week's meeting. So if you come to SiliconValleyRotary.com or RotaryMakeup.org, or get ready for this, Rotary.cool. Woo! You will find us, right? And so that's how you can get to our club. Take part in what we do, and get to know our members, right? Anytime a visitor comes to a club, whether in person or online, they want to know who the community is, right? Who are these people? Why do they do what they do? And I think we've all had the experience of stepping into a club for lunch where, people, kind of congregated in their little groups, and you're kind of sitting around waiting, like, is anybody gonna say hello? How does this work? And that, when you come to a club, you want to know what these people are about. So we work hard in our meetings to share who we are and what we think is important. And we hope that as members of different clubs, whether Terra, in-person, traditional, whatever we shall call them, look at this, they might come up with some ideas about how to share their stories. As I mentioned, there are so many tools for creating these short video stories. When you're out and doing a service project with your club, you're taking pictures. Those pictures can become the pieces that are a video where people just narrate into it. You can create videos in minutes this way. And this is how you let people know this is what we do in the community. If you're trying to partner with another organization in your community about the service you do, having those stories in short videos, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, things like that, that can make a really, really big difference. And if we in the Rotary eClub of Silicon Valley can help you out on that front, let us know. We'd be honored to do so.
Thanks, Rushton. I think we'll wind things down here for the recording. Those of us that have joined live, you can stay on and we can continue our discussion. But for all the rest of you who are seeing this recording on our website, please remember to fill out the attendance survey and let us know that you're here. If you are a guest, a visiting Rotarian, you will make sure that you indicate that you want to get an email receipt for your attendance, and you can present that to your secretary so that you can use it as a makeup. Make sure that you also participate in the discuss section at the very bottom of the page. Let us know what you thought about this presentation, any questions that you might have about different online tools or anything about our club, any way that we can be helpful to you. So just let us know. With that, I'll turn it back to Rushton for any final comments before we wrap up the recording.
Absolutely. Thank you again, President Sviatko. Thank you, District Governor Ramesh. Thank you, Hung and Tina and all our members for taking part. I would say that at a time when things are difficult and challenging, that it behooves us to remember that the connections we make in organizations like Rotary, where we know that we are connected to people who are looking to help others, it allows us to find meaning in ways that it's very hard when we isolate ourselves. And so as you look at this as a challenge, take from it the opportunity to say, let's find new ways to connect with each other. Let's find new ways to celebrate the stories that are a part of our club. Let's find new ways to use this and then come out of it on the other side with talents and tools and skills that we didn't have before, because that's a possibility. And the only thing standing between you and doing it is a decision to give it a shot. So good luck, and let us know if we can help.